we went over the notes for this podcast last night.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You ready?
I've forgotten all of them.
No.
I don't know why.
This is the only podcast where I've tried to have I'd like to give you information before, because this is a more back and forth one with some of the ideas I've set up.
I mean,
so I'm sad that you've forgotten all of them
already. As soon as you say them to me, I'm gonna go, oh, okay, like, you're right.
Do you even remember what we're drawing today? Just say yes or no.
Had a couple drinks. Fuck.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before in the podcast, but like, we never do these things sober.
I don't think I've been sober for a single podcast.
I think if you listen to these podcasts, you've never heard.
I was sober for the first podcast because I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't in it. I wasn't even sober for that one.
You haven't been sober for a single podcast.
I haven't been sober in years, dude.
I know.
Actually, it's been like 3 months, but
I don't think we haven't been sober since we moved.
Yeah, 3 months.
Exactly.
Like, almost to the date 3 months. Like, it's been 3.5 months since we moved.
We're depressed. All right.
And we're not going to move for a long time.
However,
because if you were listening to this in 2020, yeah.
If you're listening to this in March, it's been 3 years since the beginning of March, and just want to reach out and see how everyone's doing.
March is its own year at this point.
Good. No, it's its own decade. Are you kidding me? I've aged so much.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing going on in my head.
I've gained a lot of years and very little money. So
the opposite of gaining money, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now that the depressing bit is over, welcome to the 7th episode? Yeah, the 7th episode of the podcast. I'm Aeon, the Pinto Bean, and the official astrologist for the Tampa Bay Rays. And famous YouTuber Will Smith once described me as a combination of all of the before pictures.
I'm Jess. I'm the resident lima bean, and for the better part of 3 weeks, I've been trying to grow my own toilet paper by putting out cigarette butts in glasses of LaCroix.
Just hoping that they grow a bush of Angel Soft or Charmin.
Yes, but probably one ply. I don't think that anything good has come out of the combination of LaCroix and cigarettes.
Only one ply. Yeah, it is toilet paper, technically.
By the barest definition.
So yeah, I guess since we're talking about the quarantine and everything like that, today is the second day, or I guess the first official day, that our county in Florida has put out a stay-at-home advisory as the day that we're recording this. So we're pretty much just big chillin'.
So as our minds slowly melt into the void that is our own homes, we will be putting out better and better content, obviously. That's the
Definitely,
point, right?
It's not going to get worse.
Yeah, nothing.
Speaking of some of the content that we've been talking about putting out, with this, like, essentially mandatory quarantine going on, it's still early enough to where I still have hopes, right? I could be like, oh, I can get around to reading that book that I never got to read, right? Or I could, like, play that one really long JRPG that I've had on my backlog for forever, right? Or, like, start going through my Steam library, because God knows everybody has like at least 60 games you just bought but haven't played. And you're like, oh, sale, and then you buy it.
We're really lucky that Steam libraries can't actually collect dust, because I would sneeze every time I turn my computer on. It's actually wild.
Yeah. So with the mandatory quarantine, I'm still hopeful that I can at least like develop a new hobby or something like this. Like painting my nails has been a little bit more than I would just say more than unsuccessful, right? It's not a disaster. It's just like right now they look like shit, and I'm not very good at it. However, I think that my new things that I'm going to get into this, because we have a history of drawing things.
Yeah.
On this podcast, and we're going to this episode as well. I either think I'm going to like take that a complete step further and move into either like watercolor painting or online gambling. One or the other.
Online gambling, real money or fake money?
Online gambling is real money.
No, but there's also online gambling with fake money.
No, there's no two ways about it. Online gambling with fake money is not real.
Online gambling with real money is just stocks.
No, I actually think stock money is considered safer up until what's today? Up until the beginning of March, it was just safer
No,
gambling.
I'm sorry. It was safer based on your tax bracket.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I can tell you now that if online gambling, I don't care if it's real money or fake money. I put the deed to my fucking house on black. I mean, like, what are they gonna do if I lose, right? Like, which I won't, right? But like, this is a quarantine. Are they really gonna kick me out during a pandemic? Yeah, okay, bud. Keep on dumping that money into the black hole that you call the stock market, right? Where big boys are playing with real money.
Big boys are playing with poker chips and real money,
AKA my mom's credit card number.
and rolling that digital dice that's definitely not rigged.
Speaking of which, Jess, since this is a note to future Jess, if you're since you're editing this episode right now, put a poll in this one when we upload it, and see if we can actually get people to put in their mother's credit card information. Like, yeah, they can fill in their free response thing, like a test. This is a test for all, 30 of you, 40 maybe, possibly. Yeah, show it to your friends. See if we can get some credit card numbers to help out. That was the end of the note.
I mean, a poll for credit card numbers. All right.
We did social security numbers last time, and that didn't work out too well. I didn't get any. Or
okay.
feet pics.
Well, here's the problem, right? Is that the problem with credit card numbers is not only do I need, the numbers on the front and the 3 to 4 numbers on the back, but I also
no.
Your mother's maiden name.
It's 3 numbers on the back or 4 numbers on the front. That's how CVC codes work.
I'm not rich enough to have like an American Express card.
Oh yeah. Guess what? I do, and I'm getting it taken away by the online Hard Rock Casino.
At some point, online gambling, they just ask you to. Oh God, no! Computers don't have disk drives anymore. Like, there's no, like, you can't. I was gonna say
upload your card information onto a floppy disk.
I was gonna make a joke about how you would like shove your credit card. Yeah, you'd shove your credit card into the CD slot.
Oh my God.
But they don't have those anymore. Oh God, I'm old.
Well, first off, I mean, like, my computer, I mean, I guess because I custom built mine, so I made sure that I had a DVD drive to make sure I could upload all of the things that I needed to make it run, right?
Okay.
I had to get a disk drive, like an optical disk drive. But, yeah, no, like, how fucking terrible would that be if it's like, yeah, insert your credit card now into the computer, and you're like, what the fuck?
And it just grinds it to dust.
Well, you know that, like, the original way that you would pay for something via card is the person would take your card and write down the numbers on it onto this big sheet that they had and how much they would charge you, and at the end of the day, they send it in, and that gets charged through your bank. Like, that's how the cards used to work. So now all the chip readers, like, not the chip readers, but even, like, because those are slightly different, but, like, the card swipe things, all it does is take your information and just charge it immediately one at a time, instead of the people having to physically send it in.
Can you imagine how many human errors there were when it was just a matter of writing down the numbers?
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine being like, I'm going to go spend $9.99 on this Bratz doll for my child, and I get charged, like, $300. I couldn't.
Or it gets charged to the wrong fucking person.
That would also be, damn.
It wouldn't, because the numbers wouldn't line up.
You're
like,
right.
The expiration
Yeah.
date
It's not like the
line up.
one number off. Like, the next number up is someone else. But this isn't like credit card.
I mean, even if it
neighbors.
was, right? Like, but yeah, no, that's what it was.
Yeah, guys, actually, that's what we'll do. Instead of a poll with your credit card number, how about we just find out who your credit card neighbors are? So post the numbers of your credit card neighbors, and we'll give them a shot. We'll put them into the system, and
we'll see what it spits out. Right?
We'll see what it spits out.
Yeah.
We'll see who it charges. It'll be fun.
I do the same thing all the time. Yeah.
Just make sure to send both of your credit card neighbors. So we know that, like, if it ends in like if yours ends in 7, then the other one's either 6 or 8. Like, those are your credit card numbers.
Yeah. Well, I assume that the numbers we're gonna get are like, and I'm calling this now. I'm sure people are typing this now, right? Or at least waiting until the end to comment on something.
That's polite. Wow. YouTube etiquette.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna call them out right now. Right. Their numbers are like 420, 69. Maybe even a really edgy 911 thrown in there.
Oh shit, that's pretty edgy.
It's 2020. That's still pretty edgy, dude.
I'm thinking, well, because unfortunately, we've moved into. I've thought about this for a while. There are instances in which memes have always had like a cycle of life, and sometimes the cycle of rebirth into other shit ends with, like moms on Facebook, and it becomes ironic, or it gets deep fried and given new life, right?
You mean
like
Minion memes?
Yeah, Minion memes, or like you deep fry the Minion meme and that comes back into circulation, stuff like that, right?
Wait, no. You deep fry the Minion meme, and then all of a sudden a completely like clear, not deep fried MAGA hat gets put on the Minion, and then it's like, and then the Minion says something. I mean, you need to make this meme now so we can put it on this podcast.
I don't want to Photoshop a red hat on anything.
It's on your screen right now. It should just say "Women belong in the home," and the Minion with the MAGA hat is saying it.
The Minion's deep fried, but the hat isn't.
The hat isn't. Yeah.
Is it?
Okay, let's see if you can answer this, because I asked you this yesterday. When was the last time you were embarrassed buying something? For me, it's like food at a restaurant, right? And I can go into that once you give your answer. But just know that it's not limited to like items. So like you can't say, "Oh, I was really embarrassed when I bought that fake jelly-filled penis at Spencer's."
Wow, that was a call out. And I wasn't embarrassed by that. Anyway. I have to say, probably on a little bit too real of a note, I felt embarrassed buying animal products for my family.
Ooh.
That was a big one. As like, it's a crisis, but I'm vegan and all my products are there. But I got a call that was like, "Hey, if this yogurt's on sale or this yogurt's there, you need to grab 3 jugs of it because goddamn, I have to have my yogurt. It's the only thing that keeps me regular." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I have to buy this yogurt." And
I hate beans. There's no fiber. Just give me the yogurt.
Yeah, obviously nothing but yogurt creates any kind of movement in my bowels. Therefore, I must have 3 full tubs of yogurt. Jeez. Either way.
Is it at least like Chobani or something?
No, but it's a 0-calorie thing.
Yeah, but Chobani has so it's like Oikos.
It's Oikos. It's the Oikos like triple
That's
zero.
totally.
Or
oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, those aren't actually 0. If it has bacteria cultures in it, it's not 0. But that's something we can go over later.
Bacteria has calories.
Well, it's kind of like the fermentation of it and stuff like that. Like they use sugar to cultivate the cultures.
Oh,
so
okay.
Bacteria are like saccharin based.
Huh. The more you know.
I think I'm like 70% sure about that, right? Like I haven't read a paper on that.
Yeah.
But I'm like positive that's how it works. That's why like water kefir or even some kombuchas say like no sugar added, but then you look at the back and it'll say like 5 grams of sugar. And then you'll find out that they actually just meant they added sugar for the fermentation process, so there's no added sugar, like anything that's unnecessary.
Side note, because you mentioned kombucha and sugar, kombucha are now, you have to be 21 and up, at least in the state of Florida, to purchase a bottle of kombucha.
Which is kind of horseshit. I mean,
which
like,
is really horseshit.
Obviously, we're of age, like I said.
Yeah,
we're
that's
drinking
not...
all the goddamn time.
I'm old. I referenced a disk drive earlier. Obviously, I'm old enough to drink.
Yeah, I said the words floppy disk, so we're clearly boomers.
Obviously, I'm old enough to drink. The problem is that I think that it is horseshit that I am just sitting there in line buying some veggies and a bottle of booch.
Yeah, and I gotta get out my ID. Yeah, my old fucking crumpled ID out so they can bend it and then ask me how old I am, and they're like, we gotta code 23 over over on aisle 6.
I need a manager because I'm not of age, so I can't tell if this ID is fake or not. You think if I cut it in half, it'll work?
Jesus. So you would say that the thing that you were embarrassed buying.
No, it was something that gave me shame. It wasn't quite like embarrassed. That's the most recent one that I can think of that I just wanted to mention. Although that's a little bit more of a serious note. The thing that I was truly embarrassed about, like, contemplated buying a birthday card with it, just so that it was obvious that I didn't, just so that it gave the impression that I wasn't buying it for me.
Okay, before you say it, because I know everyone's now in suspense, including myself,
yes.
Right? The ultimate life hack is definitely just buying something embarrassing and buying a birthday card with it.
Unless it's lube.
No, if you're buying lube, I was about to mention that. Like, if you're buying lube and you have a birthday card with it, that if I'm, like, the person checking you out at Walgreens, that's funny. That's hilarious. Because either I know you're just trying to hide the fact that you're buying lube from me, the cashier at, like, a CVS, or you're buying it for somebody else, and that's a really funny gift.
Okay. No, I get that. All right. That's valid.
You've then
So,
placed the importance like on the opinion that the
Yes.
grocer has.
You're right. And they know that. And they're like, yes, I, a person who isn't allowed to sit for 12 hours, and now have the power.
Holy shit.
So anyway, the thing. Yes, the thing that I truly contemplated buying a birthday card with was the last time that I bought a Wizard 101 card, which was not more than 5 years ago. I'm not going to give you an exact date, although I know it. But I bought a Wizard 101 card, and I...
Do you guys want to know why she knows what the date is? It's because she still pays money for Wizard 101.
Okay. So there was a sale. My friends and I used to play this game when it like first came out forever ago.
Oh,
right?
I mean, we did a 20-hour stream or something like that.
We did it
playing. I think it was like 12 hours of Wizard 101.
Look, turn-based nonsense is fun sometimes. Like, really.
I was gonna say I got a list of RPGs for you.
Turn-based nonsense, where you can just interact with your friends and everyone's like running into each other online, is funny. And there's like kids, but you can also just yell "fuck." It's great. It's sometimes
like Elder Scrolls Online or Final Fantasy 14.
Yes, but there's no real like. It's not. There's not, because you have limits on what you can say, so it's not, like a free-for-all chat.
I love that so my favorite thing about Wizard 101 is that every single word you can type in is actually a whitelist, not a blacklist.
Yes, exactly.
So you can't abbreviate things. Like, I think LOL got added, like, way later, which was hilarious, right?
Yep.
It's like, it only accepts a certain number of words, so you have to be very...
Yes. So when you're typing...
What was the one that everyone did for stupid? Because you couldn't type in stupid.
It was Stu-O-Pit. All spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Stu, and then space O, and then space Pit. Stu-O-Pit. And again, you had different tiers of, like, what you could unlock based on your age and your parental controls. So obviously I had the highest tier of parental controls.
Yeah, because you were 18 at birth. Yeah.
No, yeah, because I was 18 at birth. No, but because when I started playing it, I was like, haha, I'm not gonna set up parental controls. I control this, and
I'm going to willingly expose myself to the internet.
Yeah, and as the youngest child of my family, and having no other family members that really like frequented video games, the internet wasn't like that big and scary. We had a family computer and that was about it. So Wizard 101 didn't really strike my family as, a dangerous thing. And so I'd play it, and I had, the highest tier. So you can type in anything and it would just be censored for everyone else around us. And that was fine. So just my friends and I could type back and forth. But, this long topic is just about, I bought this card and we all wanted to stream it. So I put in my credit card information, because there was a deal that saved me, like, I'm not even kidding, like $30 for a year. And I figured we'd be playing it over the next couple months. And we did. We play it over the course of,
for a very long time.
Yeah, we played it over the course of, 5 months?
Yeah, I mean, I bought a subscription.
Yeah, it was a serious investment at the time as adults. And I forgot that it was gonna auto-renew. So last July, after, I want to say about 4 months of not playing it, 4 to 5
It actually
months
wasn't that much.
it.
It was probably like 2, actually.
Really? I think
No, because we did the stream. We did the stream in May.
Yeah. Really?
We did the stream at the end of April, beginning of May. So it couldn't have been more than 3 months.
Then it was probably 3 months, and I forgot that it was gonna auto renew, and it auto renewed for another year with the same deal, and I haven't touched the game since.
Do you want to know? And this is kind of a side note for people that know me personally, right? Like, basically everybody that listens to this. I don't think that anybody that listens to this podcast doesn't know, like, me, right? I will say that the reason that I know, and I could probably track down the exact date as to when that stream was because at the end of that stream, somebody came in thirsting after Jess. It was someone that was from Wizard, like, it was someone that looked up Wizard 1. But yeah, so they came in, they looked up Wizard 101 on Twitch. They found the channel, saw that we were doing a really long stream, clicked on it, and saw Jess and I painting and putting together a birdhouse because we stopped playing Wizard 101 and we needed something else to do. And as we were doing that, we were making it for my mother for Mother's Day, and someone came in and they said a statement. They used the word "they," and we didn't know which one of us they were talking about. And when we asked to clarify, because I think it was like a thirsting statement, right?
Yeah,
we asked who they were talking. Yeah, we were asking who they were talking about, and they were like, "Oh, the girl, not the chubby one with the rolls." And at that time, I weighed 225 pounds, and that was actually the thing that motivated me before my 21st birthday to get my shit together. And I started going to the gym like literally the next day. I stopped drinking. As you can see, it's only uphill from here. And I went from 225 down to 145.
I think
because of this person who came in and just thirsted after Jess and then immediately insulted me and then got banned by me.
No, it was great because I think the end of that VOD was also me just going off on that person. I think I got very pissed.
Oh no, they said some shit before they got banned. They were just like, "How much do I have to pay you to like step on my balls? I wish you could scratch my back until my back started bleeding."
It was really
it was like,
not cool shit.
It was CBT before the jokes were funny.
No, it was like it was no. It was definitely one of those like I'm a werewolf online and I'm who do you want me to kill? My eyes bleed red and my hair stands up straight with its black fringe.
As you can see, Jess is very well associated with this stuff.
I'm so aware that it haunts my days and my nights.
Anyways, we'll move on to the thing that I was embarrassed about buying, because this is just a general thing, right? I didn't have anything in particular that I wanted to mention, most because you had mentioned the Wizard 101 thing, and I thought, oh man, I definitely can't beat that, right? And that's just like, namely, it is just food at a restaurant. Like, my thing was food. Is that having to tell people at a restaurant that I'm vegan so that I can get food that is acceptable for me to eat on my own grounds, right? Like, is the worst. Like, we were at a restaurant the other day. It was actually, I think, like a month ago. I'm not going to drop the name of the restaurant. It's not really a chain, and I don't want to do them dirty like that. However, when we went with my family, the guy was like, "Okay, here are the menus." And I was like, "Do you have anything that's vegan?" He's like, "Well, we have this pasta that's vegetarian." And I was like, vegetarian sounds kind of fishy, because vegan's obviously the more restrictive one. I don't want pasta that's made with egg, because some of it is. Or I don't want like a sauce that's prepared with something that I don't like it's texturized with milk or something like that. And then I asked for the specials, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we actually have a veggie platter that has like a butternut squash, spaghetti, and
tomatoes.
Tomatoes, broccoli, stuff like that, right?" And I was like, "Oh, sweet, like that can't possibly be bad. I'll just make sure there's no butter on it or anything like that." Well, the dude comes back and he's like, "I know that you said you're a vegetarian." I go, "I'm not vegetarian." And he's like, "But the pasta, the spaghetti squash pasta comes with a marinara that's made with meat. That's okay though, right? I already put it in." I said, "Absolutely fucking not. What's wrong with you?" And I was like, I just told you what my restrictions were. Like, it was very awkward for me to use the words "I'm vegan," right? Because I fucking hate it. Not even just say like I'm plant-based, just saying that, like. And he goes, "I'm gonna be honest with you, Chief, I don't know the difference." And I was like, "Well, meat is certainly not okay with either, so we'll go off with that." So then he comes back and he's like, "Okay, I told him not to put that on there." I'm like, "Okay, awesome." He goes, "But I told them that instead they said that they would just put butter on it." And I was like, "Go the fuck back there." Like, let me back there. I will make it. Right? Fuck. Just don't. I'm not asking you to add anything. I'm not telling you anything that's going to result in like a surcharge to my meal. I just want the food in a way that I can eat it. Yeah, and it was this total mess. And like, I ended up just getting straight up spaghetti squash with like, I mean, that was it. I got spaghetti squash and a shit ton of tomatoes, and that was fucking it.
Yeah,
because everything else was just like, we make it with the steak. I'm like, why would you make the asparagus with the steak? And they're just like, well, it adds the flavor to it. And I was like, get that the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think that's what's wild, is that it is just like that's the hardest part, I think, about going to restaurants that do not have, and that's why I think we both are just a lot more. Not necessarily severe. We're a lot more vigilant, is a better word. When we say, hey, if we want to plan get-togethers with people who aren't, vegan or aren't whatever, we say, hey, let's look for restaurants that at least have one vegan menu item.
Yeah,
it's
and I had
called
to,
vegan.
I had
then
to
you can just
basically
go in and just be like, I want this. This is all I want. Everyone else can order whatever the fuck they want. You know, I trust this item.
Yeah, and I couldn't even do that. I had to ask for a special and then get basically half of it. As you can tell, it was a very long conversation that it took for me to order food in front of my family and use the words "I'm vegan" at least like 3 times.
It paints a bad picture when you're just trying to be like, no, it's, you know,
He's like, dude, I'm just
living
trying to
my
eat.
best life.
And
promise.
I know that to some people that are listening to this, we may just sound like preachy or that we should get over it, but it really is a big deal to us. And I hope that even if you don't understand it, you can at least respect why we wouldn't want to do that. I'm not going to get into that because I promise at some point there's going to be a vegan episode, maybe when the COVID-19 stuff gets really bad, because I'm sure, as all of you know, and we have yet to mention this on the past 2 episodes of the podcast that have been during the pandemic, but yeah, this is like a directly like animal caused thing.
One of the many.
One of the many.
One
like
of the
almost,
many.
H1N1, H1N1, SARS, stuff like that. All that Ebola all comes from animal agriculture mostly. Like the transmission of it started with animal agriculture and stuff like that. So I'm sure that by the end of all of this, you're gonna get a vegan episode, which I don't blame you if you don't listen to, right? That's your own personal thing.
Yeah, we'll definitely put a lot of warnings out, and we'll make sure that, I mean, obviously it'll still be like a fun content thing, but we're going to make jokes, we're going to have fun with it, but it is going to probably be like, it's going to get passionate. We're going to get passionate here, you guys. Come on. Like, this is something we really care about.
I'm going to do everything to hope that it doesn't come across as preachy. But,
yeah, and we'll, you know, we might double check it with some people and just go like, hey, you know, we might through the editing process just have someone else look at it.
Yeah, that one's going to be a long one coming. We're probably going to make sure that we're tiptoeing around that one to make sure that everything's palatable.
If that's something that you truly don't want, please let us know. Like,
yeah, please just say no, don't do it, and we'll make a separate video about it. That's not part of the podcast, so we don't taint your list. Let's run into the next. That was little like directors, like the cut or like take 69.
If whatever the hell they were called, those little clampies, those little whatever.
Clampies, yeah, that's what they're called. Actually, this is the official name.
Imagine if they actually made like a flesh on flesh slapping sound. If it wasn't like a click, it was like a.
The porn industry would be ruined. You could just.
I don't know. Yeah, they would never know when to cut. I just ruined my dog's day. He just came in here sighing and looking at me like a mad woman.
The hentai industry would explode because they would need to like buy sound bites or like hire actors. They could just put the clip things. Is that what drove you over here? Was me making that noise? Huh?
Yeah, you clapped and you summoned him.
No.
Chief, come on, down.
Go away.
Come on. Don't be so mean.
I've been nice to him all day.
Get down, buddy. We're doing a podcast.
We've been hanging out.
We're doing a podcast. You can't be here. You don't have a voice. Maybe if you started speaking.
Oh,
I told you to
Chief,
speak.
all you have to do is say something and you can actually be on the podcast.
Yeah,
you can be a guest on this episode.
Yeah.
Just
that's all
say
you have to
just
do.
say something. Yeah, just anything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I can tell that you want to say something. Right, all you have to do is just say it.
Oh. Chief, you cannot. Hey, buddy.
He jumped on me.
He jumped into Aeon's lap. Chief, you can't do that to them. They can't record a podcast like this. Chief, you are not a 10-pound dog. You are almost 40 pounds. Stop looking at me like that.
He's looking at you like asking if you're jealous.
This dog is trying to steal my partner, I swear to God. You done with your little waltz? You done? You done seducing my partner? Thank you. Have a good day.
I said good day, sir.
Fuck you.
No, I'm the one being mean to him.
He's like my little brother. I'm allowed to be mean to him. Get out of my room.
Get the fuck out of my room. I'm playing Minecraft.
Hey, you gotta stop saying stuff, Aeon. He's drawn to your voice. Hey, go away. Go away. You gotta go. If we ignore him, maybe he'll go away.
It's working.
I don't know. I really hope that the sound picked up his nails walking away, like on the tile. Because I think I'm gonna put that in.
Okay, so we're calling this segment. This segment's name is Capitalism Rewards Innovation. So we're gonna each talk about a food promotion, right, or something like that. And the idea I was thinking of is like Uber Eats. Like this is like the template one. We're each gonna have to come up with a different one. The idea that I had when I was thinking about this is like delivery apps, like Uber or something, like Uber Eats, but for very specific items. Like you can only order lasagna off of their platform, so it's all of the places that sell lasagna in your area. So it's like lasagna delivery.
What would you call that?
Ooh.
Lasagna your way.
I just wanted to be like, I'm sorry, John. Or like Garfield Eats.
Garfield Eats is good.
No, Garfield Eats exists, doesn't it?
There's no way.
It's not lasagna delivery.
I mean...
I'm looking it up. Garfield Eats definitely exists.
No.
It definitely does. There's
that's
no
like,
way it
that's
doesn't.
Like being like there's a French restaurant in...
Garfield Eats Toronto. Suck my dick.
What the fuck is it?
It's a thing. It's a pizza delivery company, and the first picture I'm seeing is a pizza that is supposed to be shaped like Garfield's head.
Okay, so it truly is like the character. The owner just...
It does lasagna! Yes!
The owner's name isn't... I thought it was maybe like a really unfortunate... Like Luigi, like a Luigi's Pizza thing.
What the fuck? Okay, please, if you're listening to this right now, look up Garfield Eats, 2 words, right? And the first thing you're going to get is Garfield Eats Toronto. If you're listening to this in North America.
God, Canada has everything.
The suggested... Look at this. The suggested thing down here says, a user suggested this category. Adult daycare center. Holy shit, that's good. That is so good. Okay, well, my design for Garfield Eats is now destroyed. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you're already copyrighted, fam. This is copyright striked already. We've already lost all monetization on this video that's not monetized.
I already mentioned Uber Eats, which is just like a nail in the coffin. We don't have a sponsor. We never will.
See, I would say like a food delivery service, but the person delivering your food gets to eat your food along the way. So however long it takes them to get to your place, which is completely controlled by you on how far away you live from the food service place.
So you have to be willing.
So you have to be willing to know that if you live far away, is it worth it to have half of your food eaten by the time that it gets to you?
What if it's like they can only eat the stuff on the side, right? So your hamburger from McDonald's is fine, right? But all your fries are gone, and you get like, and they take one of the sauces.
Okay, that's also also fair. I would probably call it service. Service jobs are essential.
Wow. Okay, we're getting pretty meta with this one.
TM.
Okay, so the one time we're talking about the lasagna delivery. We were in Miami. I was in Miami with you and a couple of other friends for the Florida Psycholinguistics meeting. I'll go ahead and say it. I was there. You can look it up. I promise. And we saw this guy on the side of the road on our way to the Florida Psycholinguistics meeting. And we saw a guy selling food on the side of the road. And yeah, you guessed it. You're right. You're totally right. It was lasagna. And it wasn't just any lasagna. It was like one of those the plastic shoe bins that you put underneath your bed, right? Like something
storage bins. They're storage bins.
Yeah, but like the really like shallow ones that are supposed to slide under things.
Yeah, that usually if you got money like that, then it's they got wheels on them. But if not,
yeah, exactly, right. So he had one without the wheels, obviously.
Yeah, then they're like a dark green, kind of faded on one end, and the lid doesn't quite fit anymore.
The lid never fits. Yeah, the little plastic thing that clamps it together is long gone.
Yeah.
So he was selling lasagna out of that. He'd put a lasagna in it. Right, because I don't think those things are oven safe. But he put a lasagna in it, and he was selling lasagna. And the cherry on top of this lasagna, if you will, is that he had a sign that advertised that he was selling lasagna. Because if you just see this guy with a giant like cheese and pasta sheet like on the side of the road,
that's a lot of melted cheese and something vaguely Italian. Did you cook a human being?
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is this? Is this a person, right? And he had a sign, right, that he had next to him that just said lasagna, $5. And everyone in the car is vegan, right? And we would have bought it regardless of that. One of the reasons we didn't is because we were going to the convention. We were going to the meeting.
Yeah, you can't bring
However, lasagna, and this is why I mentioned this because I think it's so fucking funny. Lasagna was spelled Lassanya. Lasagna is how it was spelled. And I was like, you know what? We're going to a psycholinguistics meeting, and I just gotta say, that's correct. That's correct, and you can't convince me otherwise.
I know that we're all here to study language, but
This is simultaneously the most egregious and most forward-thinking thing I've seen all week.
I think that is cultural appropriation at its best.
That it's so good.
It's so good.
Dude, if you're listening to this, right?
If you're out there, my guy.
Not that I'm going to tell you to make more lasagna so that I can buy it. If you, just happen to make me a vegan lasagna, you don't understand how much money I'd fucking pay you to deliver it Garfield Eats style.
A tub. Just bring us a tub.
Yeah,
if
or
it is a tub of
whatever the
vegan
fuck you
lasagna-
called your thing.
Oh, it's a storage container.
No. Your idea of the people get to eat your...
Oh, lasagna your way?
Yeah, lasagna your way, right? Lasagna your way style. If you send it to me lasagna your way styled Garfield Eats style, I don't care. I will pay you out the ass for that. If someone can hunt down the lasagna guy and get him in contact with us,
lasagna guy,
I will do so many unspeakable things.
I mean, that's putting a lot out there. This is going to 40 people. I don't.
Who all have the potential to put me in contact with this guy.
Who all have the potential to put you in contact with this guy.
And if they know somebody that's in Miami, they have infinitely more opportunities to get me in contact with this person.
You're right. I remember that street corner well.
That made it sound like he's a lasagna prostitute.
I don't know. That was a big storage container. I don't know if there's a human body in there. Who knows?
He's got big ass arms because he's just holding up a human body the whole time to sell for $5 a slice.
Lord. I mean, look, I respect the grind. I respect his spelling.
I respect his education.
And I respect the lasagna. I
the lasagna. This idea actually is a commercial that Jess showed me, which should be playing on your screen right now.
Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
Hardly anything. Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors to create new flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, and jalapeno. The spicy barbecue pizza stack. Get him!
Grandpa, what's going on?
Pringles. We're trapped in a Pringles commercial. They must have taken us in our sleep.
How can we get out?
We can't, Summer. They warned me this would happen, and I didn't listen. Stack Pringles, make endless new flavors. Stacking Pringles to make new flavors. Make endless new flavors. Barbecue, wavy, and sour cream and onion equals a 3-layer dip stack.
Are we gonna get copyright strike?
Yeah, probably. We'll post a link to it. Okay. Well, it's a Rick and Morty Pringles commercial where it gets extremely meta, and they like rip off Morty's face, and there are a bunch of Pringle cans, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, hey, Rick, I put together these 3 Pringles," and he's like, "Oh, Morty."
Yeah.
My anus.
A highlight that you wouldn't see even if I'm showing it without audio currently. A highlight that you wouldn't see from the commercial is that Morty pronounces jalapenos as jalapenos.
Yeah, I know he pronounces them weirdly.
I think it's jalapenos.
I call them jalapenos.
You call them jalapenos. It's definitely like
that's
jalapenos.
ironic. I really want everybody to know that is completely ironic. I know that they're not jalapenos.
Like
I say jalapenos for a very interesting reason.
It's a very white wave.
No, sidetrack. I actually have to. Do you know why I say jalapenos?
For Gelato Beach? I don't know.
No. So the reason why I call them jalapenos is because I was on my 8th grade graduation trip with everyone in my class, all 54 of us, right? We went to Disney for a trip. And there was somebody in front of us who I was trying to get that sweet Mickey Mouse ice cream, right? Like the one that looks like Mickey Mouse,
the one that you can't have anymore.
The one that I no longer, we don't talk about her anymore. But back then, I mean, that was like the only thing I ever wanted whenever I went to Disney.
Yeah.
And I found out they actually sell them in stores, and I went wild for a moment before I decided to give everything up entirely in my life. All my worldly possessions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the lady in front of me was ordering like a chili dog or something like that. And I'm
gross.
like, this is Walt Disney World, not Sonic the Hedgehog World. You can't be ordering a chili dog. And she asked for jalapenos.
That's what it was.
And I mean, like, she's already, you can imagine the kind of person that she is as like a, probably a single mother at like Epcot. Or no, we were at the Magic Kingdom. Like, we were like at the Magic Kingdom doing this, and it was just like so fucking shitty. Like, just, you can imagine the kind of person that she was. And she just calls them jalapenos, and I'm doing everything within my power to keep from just laughing, like pointing and laughing at her in this public area. So ever since then, we kept joking about how we called them jalapenos, and now my sister, my mother, myself, and a couple of other friends that I had from elementary school all refer to them as jalapenos. I think I'm the only one who does it to this day. But it holds a special place in my heart, and I love calling them jalapenos.
Okay. That reminds me... It's a heartwarming story, thank you. A glimpse into the
I just want everybody to know that I'm not an idiot.
A glimpse into the childhood of the bean. That reminds me of the story of someone who it was a tweet where they said that they were waiting in line at a Taco Bell, and there's an older woman at the front of the line trying to order a Chocobo Supreme. and the server was trying to, like, give her suggestions, and she refused to budge on the fact that it was called a Chocobo Supreme
and not a fucking chalupa.
And it was the way that it was worded was great, because it was literally just like, it's a Chocobo Supreme. She refuses to accept help. like she refuses to be helped by the server.
At that point, you just give the lady fucking whatever you can throw into a goddamn burrito.
I think that's probably what ended up happening at some point. God. And again, service industry, God bless you all. I think that at some point I just wouldn't even ask. Like I wouldn't even try and fix it. I'd just be like, here it is.
The motto of Taco Bell is just like, everything tastes the same no matter what you get. Is it hard or is it soft? That's the only distinction. And there are like 10 items for each based on hard or soft and what we put in it.
Wild that you would actually categorize them as hard or soft, because I think that soft splits, and granted, I've never been to Taco Bell, so I really can't make this statement.
Wow.
But I actually,
fan?
I know, I'm gonna come out with this. I've never been to Taco Bell, but
I have a confession to make.
But I think that all forms of, like, Taco Bell food that in the soft category then has to be split into, like, dry or wet.
No, if it's soft, it's wet.
No. For the most of my life, have avoided any form of, like, wet burrito.
Can you put a reference to Soft and Wet, the Prince song?
No.
Please? Look, I get one JoJo's reference a fucking episode, okay?
I hate that you just referenced a real-life singer and a real-life person and went, yeah, that's a JoJo's reference. I hate that.
Prince is a JoJo's reference.
I'm well aware. Prince was born to be a JoJo's reference, not the other way around.
I mean, yeah.
I'm thinking of Purple Rain, which is a reference to Prince.
Crazy Diamond.
Crazy Diamond is a Prince song?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Literally the only Prince song I've listened to is
Soft and Wet.
Is another Prince song?
Yes.
That's a weird... You can't...
It's really good.
If Soft and Wet is a good song, I will not argue.
Half of the characters are, like, direct Prince poses as well. Like, they were used as references.
Because Prince is really good. I've never heard this one before. I've never heard this one. Hun, I grew up in an extremely white household.
You're right. But, like, Soft and Wet's good.
They don't want to acknowledge that...
That Prince was androgynous?
No, well, yeah, Prince, Michael
It's
Jackson...
like the original androgynous.
Prince, Michael Jackson, and David Bowie represented a lot of things that, like, middle-class white America was terrified of.
And please cut back into that statement. Like, when we cut back, just that statement. We'll start talking about what we were talking about, which was the Rick and Morty Pringles commercial.
You're right, I'm sorry, that went for a loop.
I wanted to talk about the back to the lasagna delivery service. You may have to move around some of these clips.
I'm really gonna have to move that around.
Yeah, this is gonna be real fun.
Shit.
I want to talk about the have fun. I'm glad I'm not editing this one.
No, you're gonna help me.
Fuck you.
You're gonna help me with this.
Probably, because I usually make the big hard decisions of, do I keep the references to cock and ball torture in the episode? And the answer is always yes. But, like,
I mean, we're gonna lose our CBD. Our CBT. Wow. We're going to lose our CBD and CBT fan base because those are separate groups of people sometimes.
Mom, go make me a CBD hot dog. I want my CBD infused hot dog.
I think if I ever see a sign for a CBD infused hot dog and it's legitimate, I think I will run my car into it. I think that
I'm just thinking like you're driving down the street and like your your like 64-year-old wife who's like considering either taking early retirement or Social Security is like, oh, my back really hurts, and you're like, it's 9 o'clock, like it's 9 p.m. I can't really do anything for you. Like we can go home and give you like your Motrin PM to help you go to sleep. And she's like, oh, so you gotta stop right there. They're selling hot dogs with CBD in them that'll help with my acute pain and put me to sleep. Is my CBD infused Nathan's brand hot dog.
The singular hot dog without the bun is already $15.
Okay, what's the please? I hope this gets put in, right? I want people to comment as well with what hot dog brand is going to be the first one to do a CBD infused hot dog. I don't care about the price, right? What brand is going to do CBD infused hot dogs?
I can tell you that there might already be a brand, and if you send me that brand,
I'm looking it up.
They will go bankrupt for mysterious purposes in the next couple of weeks.
Please don't tell me I'm 2 for 2, one on the hot dog thing.
No, they don't actually have it. Tell me, no, they don't actually have it.
Okay.
Where is it? Is it in California? It's in California.
I have really good news. I am not 2 for 2 on Garfield lasagna delivery and CBD hot dogs. Apparently, DeShareZone, who I actually follow on Twitter, I don't know why I haven't seen this. This was posted. Oh, it was posted a year ago. There was apparently a CBD hot dog, and DeShareZone still sells merchandise. Yeah, put out a tweet. They put out a tweet on the 30th of January in 2019 at 6:37 p.m. that just says CBD hot dog, and that is the only reference I'm getting right now. Is also, you can buy a t-shirt or a sweatshirt with the words CBD hot dog on it, and that is the only reference to CBD hot dogs.
Can you...
So it hasn't been invented yet. If you would like to steal that idea, I will kill you.
Can you imagine making money off of selling a shirt with no design on it? It just says, in fucking Times New Roman text, CBD hot dog.
Okay, Comic Sans, would it be better or worse?
It would be steering towards the edgy side of we're a brand and we do merchandising. Everyone hates Comic Sans. Like, it would be like steering towards that a little bit too much. Okay. I can't believe I just did that voice.
Well, it's going in the
on
podcast.
Recording. Fuck. My point is that, like, veering into, like, putting Comic Sans on anything that's not Vaporwave at this point is a little bit into the, like, edgy, everyone hates Comic Sans and, like, okay, Obama, like, scenarios. Like, thanks, Obama, like, whatever, shit like
Jesus,
that.
Yeah,
it's steering into that era of not quite penis music. And...
I hope we keep referencing penis music until the day that the Earth implodes.
I'm using it as a date marker at this point. So
thank God.
My point is that, like, selling anything with fucking free, universal, blank, bland, like, serif text and making money off of it, I'm livid. I'm so mad.
Okay, so
because I spent hours drawing a goddamn lima bean with a face on it, and it's sold, thankfully, to our close friends, which matters to me most, but it hasn't become viral yet, and I'm very upset.
Viral is a word that I would never use to describe this brand that we're pushing.
You're right. It's never gonna make it. But it's on the back of my phone case.
Look,
so.
Okay, you didn't need to say that out loud. That's not what I was going for, but we'll take it. So back to the Rick and Morty Pringles commercial thing, because that's what we were talking about. We can't seem to do anything today.
We're just...
we're going to talk about... So what was your... You brought up an idea about...
The lasagna. I respect it.
So Jess and I were going to talk about as kind of like more inventions to just pour out of this...
Because I got a degree in marketing and it means nothing, so I might as well do something with it.
And I think that people really appreciate the novel ideas that we have. Not that, like, we've, like, directly stolen bits from people. Although I've definitely heard of Garfield Eats before, which is why I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember from where, but I've heard of Garfield Eats.
At least you're admitting it.
Yeah, no, I had heard of it, but, like, it sounded familiar, which is why I had to look it up.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, so we need to... This is an idea that you had, and
I remember we talked about things that are sold in duos, And I specifically think about things that, stuff like shampoo and conditioner, and the fact that you can charge over $20 for a bottle of shampoo and then make the conditioner the exact same, but you never use the same amount of shampoo as you do conditioner. So you're always, it is a capitalism mess, and I hate being taken advantage of for my dumbass expensive hair products. And I'm now using $8 shampoo and conditioner because fuck capitalism. Either way, things that are sold in pairs have to have, and we discussed this the other day, have to have a different marketing campaign. So, things that things that a lot of households want are washer and dryer sets. But when was the last time that you saw like a commercial for a set of like a washer and a dryer, right? It's not something that's really often marketed.
Probably like Black Friday, they were offering like appliances, like general appliances.
Yeah, it's always a
but
general.
It wasn't
commercial.
like a specific like, here, try our new fucking tag hewer. That's a watch brand. Washer dryer with a tag hewer clock in it to detect to the fucking femtosecond of when your clothes are ready.
Yeah, it's like the occasional like weird homeowning channel will have Best Buy commercials that don't talk about the technology in Best Buy, but talk about like the appliances for sale in Best Buy, because you can walk into a Best Buy and buy a fridge. Wild, but you can do that. I
don't think that's exactly a wild idea.
That's weird. As a
I don't get how the fridge industry is profitable, because you can't sell that many fridges. People buy fridges like once every fucking 30,000 years.
You're right, but I don't think about Best Buy as like the Walmart of appliances. I just don't think about it.
I think
that way.
Walmart is the Walmart of appliances.
But you know what I mean. The fact that you can go into Walmart and buy like your groceries, but then you can also go buy like a mattress or like a rug. Like those are very separate things.
Yeah,
but you can buy them all at Walmart. I think about Best Buy as like a kid dragging their mom in there, like, I want the new iPhone, like whatever. Like that's what or like people going in there to shop.
Wouldn't you go to like AT&T or the Apple store if you want the iPhone?
No, because Best Buy used to offer, I don't know if they still do, not through Apple because Apple's shitty, but I know that Best Buy offers certain coverages with the Genius Bar that you might not be able to get at like AT&T and like,
I had no idea. That's a real life hack right there.
Yeah, no, that was Best
cool.
Buy has like its own special deals and stuff that keep you coming into their stores because they want AT&T and Verizon and these places to continue to release these products to them, and like Samsung.
I actually remember when I was getting the phone that I currently have, the Samsung Galaxy S8 Active, which they obviously don't make anymore. They don't even make the active line anymore because of a problem that I'm dealing with right now. But yeah, no, they didn't even have like that in stock. They didn't have it when I got it, when it was like still like new, when it was still like the phone that they had come out with.
It's why I
couldn't get it because they wouldn't give it to them.
I mean,
like it was an AT&T exclusive phone and they wouldn't give it to Best Buy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
so
wild.
when you're looking for exclusives, it gets hard. But that's why when you're going to, like, if you're going to go buy a computer monitor, the best place to buy a computer monitor is actually Staples, because they have not as big of an inventory as places like Best Buy, but they will price match you. So they'll price match even with things on like Amazon. So if you can prove that you've got like the new thing on Amazon, you can walk into Staples, and if Staples has even 2 of them, they'll price match whatever the deal on Amazon is. So it's really cool. But either way, that's just like a quick life hack.
You were talking about washer and dryers.
I was talking about washer and dryers. The campaign I'm willing to pitch in order to sell a washer and dryer combo to the young people, to people who might be buying their first washer and dryer. I'm thinking that in the same way, if you guys remember those that thread about the Disney princesses reimagined as cement mixers.
It's on your screen right now.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, here it is. But it's a riot, and it was going around for a while, a couple of years ago.
It's very good.
I'm thinking marketing campaign. It's Disney princesses and like their significant other and or like animal companion as the other, the other appliance. So you've got the Disney princess reimagined as a washing machine, and
this isn't going to be the drawing thing that we do this episode. This one's going to be a long one. This isn't going to be.
You've asked me to edit so much, and I know what you're about to ask.
I want you to draw an example of this.
I can. Okay.
To put it on screen.
I will draw.
It can be really like quick. It's just going to be for a couple of seconds in the podcast episode.
No, let's put out. How about this? Let's have fun with this. How about before we put this up? And we can choose to keep this or not. Let's put out a Twitter poll about which Disney princess and their significant other that we want reimagined as a washer and dryer, and I'll draw it.
That's really good.
I think we do that. We'll let Twitter
We're
decide.
brainstorming. Twitter's going to do it.
We'll let Twitter decide which. They won't even know. They won't know it's coming until you're watching this podcast.
If you're in the Discord, you'll know. But if you're...
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's a link to the Discord in this description.
So here's my wonderful artwork. Here it is on screen.
She's already done it. Here it is.
It took me way longer than I'd like to admit.
Okay, so here's my idea for capitalism rewarding innovation.
Okay, go for it.
This is...
Pitch me your campaign.
Okay, so like as, you know, like I said, capitalism obviously rewards innovation and doesn't just push for price margins, right? And like profitability.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. We gotta improve something that is already existing in such a minor way that people won't notice it, but they will pay more for it.
So Apple.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Except with another gigantic brand that's sold in almost every single country except for 2.
Okay. Hit me.
Coke.
Like
The
cocaine?
soft drink. Every single country has cocaine. I'm talking about the soft drink.
Okay.
By the way,
make sure.
the 2 that don't have Coke right now are Cuba and North Korea. They don't sell Coke products there.
Okay.
They used to in Cuba, but yeah.
We fucked them up real
We're
good.
not gonna get into it. That's a whole nother episode.
You don't want to hear.
Be ready for the Cuba episode. It's gonna be.
You don't want to hear us go off about
You
Cuba.
don't want to, especially right now. You don't want to. So, Coke Freestyle. You know those. I know not many people recognize it by that name, but it's those vending machine, the touchscreen ones where you can pick like the mixtures of what you. Have you seen? There's going to be a picture on your screen as well right now of Diet Dr. Nasty, which I think is like mellow yellow and like some other shit.
What are those vending? There's a name for those vending machines.
Coke Freestyle. That's what they're called. That's the official name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Coke Life. I thought you were talking specifically about like the green Coke can. And then you were talking about how it's available in those vending machines. Wow, my brain went elsewhere. They're called Freestyle?
Yeah, Coke Freestyle is the name of the touchscreen
know.
machines that can dispense you whatever the fuck you want.
I just know that boomers are very angered by them.
So I actually have a really funny story about this, and I've been waiting to tell this. This is gonna be such a good episode. I've been waiting. First the lasagna one, and now this. I've been waiting to tell this story. So when I was in New Orleans, living there for a little bit, I went into a Five Guys. I know, gross, right? I can't even say it. I know most of you are gonna take exception to that statement, but basically,
you were at Five Men.
It's that Cinco dudes and
Cinque. No, that'll piss people off. Cinque, my guys.
Cinque hombres. And there was this guy that was standing in front of me right after he had ordered who, I mean, this was back when like the Coke Freestyle machines had just come out. And I mean, his jaw was just like on the floor. He had no idea how this thing worked. He's just like, what the fuck? And there's no buttons. I don't push if I just push my cup into the thing, ice comes out. And if I push the button that says push, nothing else happens. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
Where do I insert the quarter?
Right? This really old guy who is just like, oh, Jesus, right? I just wanted my Diet Coke. My orange Diet Coke. And this employee comes over because he clearly sees that he's struggling. And I will admit that the employees at Five Guys are generally a lot better than every other fast food chain I've been to.
I mean,
they're very nice people.
Yeah.
I think that most fast food workers are extremely nice people. They're just in really shitty situations. Anyways.
Yeah, and you're allowed to spit on me if I... You're allowed to spit on me if I tell you that you put tomatoes on my sandwich. Like, it's fine. I get it. Like...
So, here's the thing. Oh boy. He said... The guy comes up and he's like, hey, sir, I see that, like, you know, you look like you need some help, which, first of all, was the wrong thing to say to this dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, can I help you? And he's like, what is this darn thing, right? And he goes, oh, well, it's a touchscreen, you know, like your phone, so you just need to, like, press the buttons on whatever you want, and you can choose any mixtures of whatever, like, you can do Coke, and you can, like, mix all the different flavors. He goes, it's called a Coke Freestyle, which is why I've been referring to it as that, because that's its actual name. He goes, but I like to call it a Cokesamillion because you have so many choices. And this old dude just turns to him and goes, that's really fucking stupid. And then uses it, like, perfectly. Like, dispenses his like, caffeine-free lime Diet Coke and walks off. And I see this employee there just, like, dumbfounded that he's, like, extremely regretting ever fucking trying to help this dude.
I God bless the food industry. Like, God bless, like, the service workers in the food industry. Just
So fucking funny.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody telling you just like, that's a stupid fucking name. And walking off.
Your statement at the beginning of that story of, like, he came over and said, oh, like, you look like you need help, and that was the wrong fucking thing to say. That sent me back to the instance in which I was working in retail, and I accidentally suggested... I accidentally suggested to the person who I wasn't supposed to be helping in the dressing room, but demanded my help in the dressing room, that that they might need a different size if the fit isn't correct. And that was the wrong fucking thing to say. And I got screamed at. And I was like, oh no. So that just sent me back to that time of, like, God bless the people that work in the service industry. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your time.
You're
and
braver
your
than the
patience.
troops.
You're braver than anyone I know.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, and especially in this time of crisis, we appreciate you. I went to the grocery store the other day, and the guy at the counter looked at me as I was buying like 2 things and said, "Were you able to, to get outside and and just move around today?" And I said, "No, not really. I was just like doing work and then this." And he goes, "Yeah."
Holy shit.
I think I just broke his spirit, and I apologize to you. I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, like, imagine your position, right? Like, you've been stuck inside doing work all day, and the thing that you're going to do with your quote-unquote free time is go to the grocery store. Yeah. Super exciting.
You're right.
The hotbed for viral disease exchange.
But he was clearly, like, around my age and had just... his whole day it was already...
He had his spirit broken.
It was like nearing 8 p.m. The poor lad.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you guys.
So, let's say you're a food service worker that refers to this said machine as either a Coke Freestyle or a Cokesamillion. And you're trying to advertise... we're going to call it a Cokesamillion from now on. It's the new jalapeno, if you will. Right, so let's say...
I have respect for that word, and I'm calling it a Cokesamillion.
Let's say that you operate a Cokesamillion machine, or you're a Cokesamillion mechanic that puts in all the little juice packets.
Oh god, I guess they really require mechanics, don't they?
Imagine that, like, your sole job is going to different places around your town and fixing these fucking Cokesamillion machines.
That's a nightmare.
Anyways, I have a new flavor for you so that you can upcharge on how much you charge for drinks because you have to pay for these flavors. Same thing as Jess. Washer and dryer flavored Coke. That's it. It can be like, we're going to have Coke products, right? So we're just going to have washer water flavored Dasani, which it pretty much already tastes like that. And we're going to have dryer flavored Seagram's ginger ale. The ginger ale just tastes like the air that comes out of a dryer. We just put hot carbonated dryer air into the beverage. Those are my ideas.
If you ever were holding a glass of any, or like a paper cup of anything, right? And you put it under an area. If you were ever just holding like a nice room temperature paper cup, to get your drink dispensed into, you approach one of these machines and you got air blown into it. You obviously think that there's like
clearly something wrong. There's a terminal error.
You think that there's like an error or something, right? But now your cup is warm. What do you do?
And then they fix it. They just fill it with ginger ale and carbonated water.
We discussed this the other day, but some people have really big aversions to warm drinks, like even like room temperature drinks. Yeah, that would be a fun thing to talk about on the podcast, and I'd like to also again get the audience, get everyone involved in this. Like, if there's one drink that cannot be had warm. Now, don't give me like milk or bullshit. Like, that's yes, we get it, right? Like, certain milk is gross.
We also think milk is disgusting. Yeah,
like, milk is gross and it shouldn't be warmed. We get it, right? But I'm talking, like, for me specifically, it would be a not room temperature, but a warm LaCroix. I would rather die.
That's actually exactly what I was about to compare my drink to. I was going to say, would you rather have the washer water flavor, right? So it can be put into like Dasani or Coke or anything like that. Would you rather have the washer water flavor or the dryer air, or a warm LaCroix?
The washer water, because we've already discussed
so
this.
Given those three options,
very easily the washer water, because we've already discussed this.
Would you take the dryer over the LaCroix?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's the bar for consumerism, right? It's just like,
kidding.
is it better than LaCroix?
I actually think that I've had multiple nightmares about drinking a warm LaCroix.
Okay. I know that Natalie listens to this podcast.
You call out?
Yeah. By the way, tell us your opinions and we'll mention you, because that gives us stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
She's going to be furious when she hears this.
No, she dressed up as LaCroix for Halloween. It was a great costume. It was honestly one of the coolest costumes. She used a dirty clothes hamper as the can.
Oh, so like normally what they ship LaCroix in, right? A dirty hamper.
Yes. Call out. But it was a wonderful costume, really well made. I cannot fucking stand LaCroix. And a warm LaCroix is straight out of my nightmares. But I would like to think that Natalie also would not be able to tolerate a warm LaCroix. I think there's just a loss in quality.
I think that I think a warm LaCroix is the definition of like you're struggling, right?
Okay.
But the other thing is I love sparkling water. Don't get me wrong. Added flavors are like whatever, right? I can't stand LaCroix. I can't stand LaCroix. I love sparkling water. I do not like LaCroix. I
don't have a problem with sparkling water. It doesn't refresh me as much.
I've even tried mixing LaCroix with my favorite food, alcohol, and it doesn't work.
I just don't. I'm not one for adding flavors into anything.
It just doesn't do it for me. So I would like to know everyone's opinion on LaCroix so that we know that Natalie is marginalized.
So we absolutely can bully you out of drinking LaCroix.
We're gonna bully you out of your bad opinions. That's actually what we're gonna pull you for.
No, that's not what this podcast is about.
I know that all of us are already extremely like socially anxious people. Like,
yes,
especially the people listening. Like, I'm just talking about people in general, but I know especially the people listening to this have a problem. Like, I don't even know your name to know you, right? Like, yeah, you dumbass, right? You have a clinical case of generalized anxiety, social anxiety, and probably depression at this point, right? So
at this point, bitch, we started there.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, like, now it's really hitting home for everybody.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll move on to one of the next bits that we have, because I'm glad we finally got through that capitalism bit. And now we're going to move on to something that's actually going to mean worthwhile to the world. And that is, we're going to draw. Everyone's favorite thing. We're actually going to end this episode drawing.
Wow.
We've never done that before.
Wow.
We usually do the drawing at a point where it's convenient for us or something like that. We're going to end the episode with the drawing. So if you are not interested in the drawing stuff, get the fuck out of here. But if you want to... Please don't. If you want to stay for the drawing, we are going to do it right now.
If you're treating this podcast like standing in a line for a very long time, you've already made it very far, so it's useless at this point. It's just been a waste of your time to quit on us now. So keep watching.
Yeah, sunk cost. You've already waited 3 hours for the Harry Potter ride at Universal. You might as well stick.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. You might as well just hang out.
You don't know how much longer you're going to be here. It's not going to be as long as you've waited so far.
And I can tell you, much like the Harry Potter ride, you're just going to be disappointed with our drawings.
Maybe slightly motion sickness.
You may get major motion sickness.
A little bit of nausea.
Okay, so we're going to spend the next couple minutes drawing, and obviously we're going to fast forward through this. We're going to make an animal better. This is an idea I had in a very bad drunk fever where I was laying in the tub, partially dazed, thinking I could have possibly drowned with how fucked up I was. But I was thinking about making animals better. Not better as in, like, broken, like it'll destroy an entire ecosystem if you made, like, elephants can now run 60 miles an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be, like, insane, right? So we're just going to do something that is going to make them better.
Run 60 miles an hour?
They definitely can't run 60 miles an hour. I don't know how fast they run. It's not 60 miles an hour. Their knees could not do that.
You're right. Just give...
Not just their knees, right? Obviously, there's more limitations than that, but I can't imagine. Elephants already, like... Goddamn. God bless them. So we're just going to make some animals better. So an example I have of this, right, is... kangaroos and bunnies, right, for instance, can now choose to walk instead of hop everywhere. Granted, that takes away from especially kangaroos being, like, fucking jacked all the time because they just have to hop everywhere. But they can just choose to walk, right? Like, why spend that energy? That seems like a really dumb thing. So we're gonna we would make them better in that way. Another example I have for this is anteaters that always have Sprite cranberries. So it's not busted, right? Like, they never have to look for resources. It's just if they need that, like, quick energy or very short rehydration period.
A little bit of serotonin.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know, it's Out in the wild, I mean, it's always the thirstiest time of the year, so they gotta refuel, if you will, much like a Gatorade commercial, except they just fucking crush a Sprite cranberry and dunk on some people.
Do you know how long,
on some fucking ants?
Yeah, their tongues are long enough to fully wrap around a Sprite cranberry and crush it with their tongue. I have no scientific evidence for this.
I need to have a visual on screen right now of an anteater crushing a Sprite berry can with his
I have done
tongue.
so fucking much for this podcast.
You said you were gonna edit this one. We're pulling all the stops out.
That does not mean...
But just how much would it mean to you if people came back and they're just like, episode 7, that one that's not named right now, is the best episode. What if people said that to you? They said it's better than all the other things you've done. Would that make all the work that you've done already for this podcast worth it?
Well, now it seems like it's going to be a pity thing, just so you can wrap me into editing more.
Yes.
You're going to go pay people off.
you've
Instead of
seen-
paying me, you're going to go pay people off to tell me that this was good.
You've seen right through all of my trickery, my deception, my chicanery. You can curse me for my malfeasance, but there's really nothing that's gonna get you out of doing this, is what I'm saying.
Wonderful.
Okay, so we're gonna put a couple minutes on the clock, and we are going to draw our ideas of making animals better. And I would like to know, during this time, what animals you guys would improve and how.
Yeah, you can't break it. You're not like, give horses wings or...
Yeah. Don't make it like horses are now natural predators. Like,
Yeah.
that would just break everything.
Yeah, you can't say stuff like that, but...
You could do something cool like X animal now eats wasps. That'd be neat.
That's like actual... It's like if you actually study biology and ecosystems and understand that things need to eat certain animals because they're breeding out of control.
It's almost like I
protect
studied
ecosystems.
ecology for a while.
It's almost like it's almost like we understand that invasive species aren't good and are all our fault.
Bean beetles are invasive species in Florida.
Sad.
I did an experiment with bean beetles in college, and I had to kill them, and that was the saddest thing ever because you cannot let them out, and you cannot let them just live in a lab because that's also not ethical. But
those of you who live in Florida, you are probably very familiar with the lizards, the little brown lizards that run across your path when you're on the sidewalk, right? Those are actually, and you might not know this, but those are actually an invasive species. They're not meant to be here, and they have ruined the population of the lizards that are native to Florida, which are those little green ones with the pointed noses. Those are our true Floridian lizards. Next time you see one, you just wave to them, and you tell them that you are their friend, and you recognize that they've been
their sovereignty.
Yeah, they've been in a pandemic of a different kind for much longer than we have. So, minutes on the clock. Here.
So we're back. We finished drawing, and Jess, you already know what mine is. So would you like me to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I drew this turtle that's really tall. So the whole point is that turtles are now like... I should have drawn... I didn't have enough time to draw something for reference because I kind of focused more on the shell than anything else. But the turtle is approximately 3 to 3.5 feet tall. That's it. They can't do anything else. They still, walk and run at the same pace. But they're about as tall as a toddler. That's it. Nothing else changes. They don't have like shin guards, so it's not like, they're impervious like the rest of their body. They can still fit, believe it or not, all of their legs into the shell for protection. They're just taller. So I've just made it better, so it has a better vantage point. It has, better attributes. I mean, look at those legs. I mean, like, fellas, like, would you? So that's my invention, the tall turtle. I have improved on nature. Mother Nature should hire me.
I have had my hand over my mouth the entire time during your explanation, so as not to laugh at its kneecaps.
I made sure to accentuate the kneecaps. It has needs. It can get osteoporosis and like Osgood-Schlatters disease. It's really bad.
Oh
like,
shit, we gotta get some icy hot for those turtles.
It's really not busted. I probably should make the turtles run a little bit faster if they're gonna have all these problems that come with having knees.
They've just they've just bred to be taller, much like humans.
Yep. So what's your improvement?
Mine is all birds no matter shape, stature, or size. Although I used a pigeon for a basic, basic generalized. Although birds,
Okay.
but all birds
Let's see it.
have the puff crouch. It has invincibility frames upon activation.
That's so good.
They I didn't quite accentuate how much the body size increases, but it does. And they all essentially become as rotund as possible.
They just become a ball. Yeah.
They become a ball. And can then tuck in their feet, wings, tail, and everything, and just roll out of danger.
Roll out.
Roll
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I'm definitely not referencing anything. And the invincibility frames are definitely not broken. And should this bird, come out of its crouch and turn around to fucking back air you, it definitely wouldn't be overpowered at all.
Can the birds crouch cancel?
Yes, that's what this is.
That's-
This is the
Okay, yeah.
This is the puff crouch cancel.
So it's
birds.
it's got iframes. It's a puff crouch, so it dodges danger,
Yes,
and it can crouch cancel.
and it makes them faster. Yeah,
Makes them faster. on the grass transformation of Pokemon Stadium, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do they have metal legs? Do the birds have metal legs?
That depends on the bird.
Okay, because I believe you're just describing Falco.
No, hands off their bread. Okay. Alright.
Man. Okay, well, that has been episode 7 of 3 Beans in a Podcast. We are very sad that we didn't have a guest on this one, but we should in the next one, so look forward to
We
that.
just don't have any friends.
We just don't have friends. Friends just don't want to do anything with us, and it's really fucking annoying.
And there's also this coronavirus thing going around, but I think the real problem is that we don't have any friends.
Yeah, well, I mean, the bane of our existence in the first episode was having to record over Discord and doing the separate audio files and the different tracks and nothing came out properly, so it was kind of we strictly do recording in person for the most part, but
It helps with conversations too.
yeah, for sure.
You can look someone in the eye as you deliver the worst thing you've ever said.
I've done that plenty of times.
And
with Jess.
even though all of you can't make eye contact with me, you can feel the energy in the room when the divorce papers are being very, very slowly slid in my direction.
Anyways, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope that you guys eat a nice CBD hot dog for lunch. Enjoy yourself. Maybe grab a Dasani water mixed with washer fluid.
I didn't get to say this earlier, but just as a thing, we talked about this. The washer fluid has kind of already been created in the form of the pH water, because it just tastes like soap and water.
Lies.
put together.
Okay, next episode I go off on Jess about why pH water is a good invention.
And the next episode recording starts.